We're next up, and we have an awesome presenter who has really helped us pioneer the Powur Vision tool that we've created. And I'm excited to see how he lays it out for you, how well he's done with that, and really kind of breaks it down. And then I think we'll potentially be bringing Mr. Dean Rosenberg on stage at the end of that presentation. Let us welcome Jordan Shaw.
All right. How's everybody doing? I mean, what an amazing morning it's been. I don't know about you, but I was just getting chills off of the enterprise presentation that's been done and all the new features that are actually coming. Today, I really am excited to be talking about vision. Now, this isn't going to be a deep technical dive. There's videos coming for that. There's a certification track. This is going to be about really what it's done within my business and what I've actually seen over the time that I've actually been with the product. For those of you that don't know my background, I actually spent about 17 years in IT before I jumped into solar full time. I was running my own consulting business for the last 5. And the one thing that really was preventing me from going full time was the ability to actually have my own presentation tool. So when I saw Powur, just in general, had this capability with the tool that we were using at the time, I was like, man, this is game changer. This will allow me to grow my business. And that was the truth. But when the Vision team came to me and said, hey, would you like to be a part of the beta testing? I did not hesitate because I was already used to that type of thing with the 6 years I spent in a startup, where I was kind of used to that type of methodology of like, all right, we got a GA product, but there's some features that are just rolling out. Not everything might actually work right? But the one thing that I was really excited about this was what Vision was able to do for our company as a whole, because in reality, this is our own in-house tool, right? And that is something that you need to understand when you look into Vision. So a lot of people reach out to me and say like, oh man, he's always on the leaderboard. He's always doing these contracts. How did you actually get that many? Like, how do I constantly break through my own ceiling, right? And the reality is, it's Vision. What I've been doing in the last 6 months is I have not even touched the legacy tool. The only time I did was because I was still under an NDA at that point. I wasn't allowed to. But I found excuses, honestly, to get people to sign the NDA just so I could utilize Vision, because my close rate went up. The proposal tool itself is just a game changer in general. And this is something that you actually are going to experience. So if you're in California, Florida, Texas markets, right, you've already maybe started to work with Vision. And as it rolls out more as a company-wide, I'm really excited for you on this. So let's talk about kind of why you'd want to utilize Vision. And really, it's an all-in-one presentation tool. The thing that you got to realize is that this tool tells a story. It tells a story about Powur. Okay, I was always referencing others like slides and things like just like talking about the impact journey, and I still do that. I always bring that up and say, hey, this is what we built for this family. But I had to talk about the elements of Powur and its culture separately. Within Vision, I don't have to do that, because now I have that all embedded within the actual software. So I've never touched another deck, even in the legacy tool, okay? So some of you may shock, I don't use the new homeowner presentation deck at all. But because I felt that my clients' time was super important. And so when I was bringing them into that presentation, their time is there. I have them for a finite amount of time, so I need to deliver this with this messaging. And with Vision, you actually appear trusted. They're giving us this amazing tool. What other company is giving that to you? And as I said, the one thing that was preventing me from scaling was I'd always have to reach out to another sales rep to make modifications for this to the presentation when it happened mid-flight. I hated that. It really slowed me down. And when the team asked me to working with Vision, I was like, yeah, let's do this, because I knew it was going to make our company better. Now, ultimately, all your competition is registering and subscribing to each other's tools, okay? So when you do a presentation to a homeowner, they probably have 4 or 5, at least in California, right? We all know that. They probably have multiple copies of similar decks, I guess you could say, right? PDFs, whatever it might be that they've been left. Powur's vision tool is unique. And because it's unique, it actually makes it more memorable. So ultimately, this upgrades your overall presentation, okay? And I got to tell you, it's so refreshing to come into a presentation, and right there on the slide, it says, in partnership with Powur. Because that's always been my thing with Powur, is it's always been a strategic partner for my business. And it adds to the trusted advisor and the brand. So I don't want to come up here and be like, oh my gosh, it's rainbows and unicorns and all of that, whatever you want to say, right? There's always common obstacles to go by. And so I actually was doing some polling with some of the people that were actually utilizing Vision prior. And I was like, all right, why aren't you, if you have access to this to the proposal tool, why aren't you using it now? And this was some of the stuff that they were giving me, like just, I logged in, I got an error, or I like to be able to change things on the fly for my customer, or max fit doesn't appear to be the same, same in solo versus vision. And I got to tell you, I've been utilizing this tool, as I said, for in excess of 6 months now, and none of that stopped me. And I can guarantee you, and I'm sure Dean will verify and Matt will verify this too, I probably sent the most emails on errors or things I wanted to actually see in the product. And that is what you have to realize, is this is a tool that is going to evolve with time, okay? And I'll give you an example of where max fit, where you're like, oh, I can fit more panels over here. That messed me up on a major project where it was never supposed to be a ground mount. And when we came out to do this site survey on the roof, guess what? Couldn't fit that many panels. And suddenly I have a 68 panel ground mount with all additional costs. And it cost me a lot of money, a lot of margin. So the fact that we err on side of caution on the max fit, I actually love and enjoy. But let's be honest here. What other issues have you actually seen prior to Vision? We all experienced them. How about selling a deal, forgetting to check the adders, and all of a sudden it was either the modules or the inverters was 0? How much fun is that, right? Or how about this one? This was fun. Waking up and realizing all your proposals have a garbled version of the actual financing that you were going to show the customer, and you have to battle through that. We've all experienced these challenges. And the beautiful part about Vision is that now we have an internal team that can make it better, that actually can make those changes happen on the fly, okay? And like I said, just give feedback. That's the biggest thing you could do. Don't pop in and say, oh, I experienced an error, and then just disappear. No, say, hey, has anybody ever seen this? Or guess what? There's a handy error tool, reporting tool within the actual proposal software. So let's talk about some of the features that I want you to really realize, okay, that exist, that maybe you haven't. We have dynamic homeowner contact updates now in the proposal tool. How many times have you gotten done with a proposal, okay, and, oh yeah, let's go ahead and we're going to go forward with this, and the homeowner goes, well, I want to run into my spouse's name now. And all your contract docs and everything are going to be in the other name, and now you have to jump on chat, and you have to change it and all that, and the pros in the room know that, like, well, I could log into Solo directly. You're not supposed to do that, right? That was the issue, right? You weren't able to actually make these changes on the fly. Now you can jump over to powur.com, log in, actually change the name dynamically and other contact information, and it updates on the proposal tool. We have dynamic product slides for Powur Care. That is the first email I sent to the team was, where is my Powur Care slide? Where is this? Like, I always reference this PDF. Where is it? Now when you check off Powur Care in the adders, it shows up in the proposal tool. We have the dynamic pricing. Like I said, you're not going to run into that issue where this side of the coin, you didn't have the pricing correct, right? It's integrated with our back end, okay, into Powur OS. Now, hitting on the run that we just experienced in California, vast majority of the time, signing contracts and running credit was not in the room. The customer-facing link allows you to have your own client run their own credit within the proposal tool. You get the notification, and then you get to send the contract. This was happening again and again. I found that. I dialed that to 10. I said, why on earth would I want to schedule to get on the call to actually run the credit and everything when I can get a notification? And they ran it in the privacy. Of course, there was a times where like, yeah, let's do this on the presentation. It was a one-sick call. However, a lot of the times, hey, we need to think about this. We're spending a little bit of money. That alone will just take your sales to the next level. We also have smaller PDF exports. That was how many times have you exported like 2 different versions of a PDF? It was 3 or 4 megabytes, and you're like, man, I feel like I'm spamming my customer a ton. I hope their email doesn't block this coming through. You have those smaller exports, and then we obviously have the elements of self-consumption, right? And the co-branding, which is coming soon, which is amazing. I'm super excited about that. These are some of the things that you may not have known that was actually within Vision. And these are the things that I've been using on a daily basis and enjoying with Vision. Any other time that I've had to go backwards from Vision just because, as I said, the other person wasn't under an NDA, I felt like it was a step back. I truly did. It felt clumsy. I wasn't able to make modifications on the fly like I thought I could. Vision has fundamentally changed what I've done and what you can actually do, okay? So in closing here, what I really wanted to say is this is a lasting impression, okay? You need to make this memorable with your customers. And that is what Vision does. I was on a consultation recently for NEM3, and it was a huge project. It's going to be somewhere around 80 grand. And we had 3 batteries, self-consumption, 16 kilowatts. And we got to the end of the presentation, talking to the homeowner, and I started talking about what the team's been doing with Vision to dial this in to get this ready for NEM3. Because I kind of go over that, saying these are the transitions that have actually happened. And the thing that she said to me was, honestly, this looks amazing. Nobody else has shown me a tool that is completely dynamic. Nobody. That was her takeaway. Like, she trusted the tool and the calculations that are in it and the presentation that we gave her. And you can have the same experience, because if they're staring at a stack of proposals, what is the one thing that is going to make it memorable? Outside, obviously, of your delivery, that's always important. But if you can't jump on the phone with them or on the computer, you need to be able to have a proposal tool that tells the story without you ever needing to have to jump on that call. Because we all know that happens, like, I can't get the time, right, with this homeowner, or like, we're on 2 different working schedules and all of that. And if that's the case and you just have to send it, then you better have a story that's associated with that, and telling Powur's story as a certified B Corp, as what we're doing on Inc. 43 list, right, on the 5,000 list. All of that, all those little elements and nuances, you want them to be able to understand the proposal very, very easily, especially when you can't deliver it, or if you're brand new and you're working with another mentor, obviously. But even when you're just doing your first proposals, it's daunting, right? Let's be real. I mean, who else was like, oh my gosh, what am I doing? What did I get myself into? Like, light up the chat. I mean, if you looked at the proposal and you're like, I don't know how to say this to the homeowner, right? I mean, obviously we have the training to help you, but this is a learned skill. This proposal tool actually makes it easier. Okay. Now we have everything that you need to know about Vision in the knowledge base, right? Feel free to reach out to me on Facebook. That is not. I'll go ahead and I'll respond to you when I can. Of course, I'm here obviously as an advocate. If there's something in the tool that you want to see, honestly, we actually have the team here that's going to be really helping us with this. So is Dean around? Hey, Dean, why don't you come on up? So we'll give a hand for Dean.
Hey, everybody.
Awesome.
You good?
Good.
Looking good out there.
So what type of questions do we have in the chat for Dean? Like, or maybe you can actually, while they light that up, maybe you can talk about some of the integrations and stuff that we're doing.
Even before integrations, I just wanted to share with everybody, like, we are very much at a starting line with Vision. Like, this is the beginning. It's going to get way better from here. But we have, like, I sold, I think, 9 deals on the Vision platform as our CTO. Like I don't even sell solar, and my friends called during like during the power surge, the NEM2 rush. So like I hear I got to get solar, and I helped them out and such. So a lot of the things that Jordan was talking about some of the feedback that we've gotten from the early users of the product, those are all being actively worked. I know some of you had some questions about Sunlight on the platform. Sunlight is now live on the platform on Vision, no issues there. And then we're working on a lot of things around Powur Enterprise, lots of other things going to be happening.
I mean, we're working also on different shading elements, different partner integration. I know that we've been talking back and forth with like SolarEdge and stuff, just trying to make sure that our post-NEM3 calculations are just spot on, different profiles.
Yeah, for NEM3, we're working with SolarEdge and Enphase to integrate like their battery storage models. You're going to see like what we have for NEM3 and storage modeling and homeowner value proposition is the beginning. Like you're going to see our whole storage module in Vision like just grow like crazy.
That's great. And so I'm seeing some. When do we get Vision? It's live now, depending on when's our ETA on nationwide.
Yeah, so great question. So all of you have the ability to use Vision for California, Texas, Florida projects today. You do have to certify in Powur University. So go ahead and take the certification class if you haven't already. It's pretty quick. And then you can sell Vision jobs immediately. We are intending to roll out effectively in all of our markets by the end of June. Might bleed into July, but by the end of June, we're working on that now. That's not actually a coding effort. That's a sort of DocuSign contract, all the nuances of all of our different states and all of our different markets. And so we're actually kind of finishing that up. Matt is working on that currently.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah.
I'm just looking in the chat to see if we've got anything else. How do we add a re-roof into Vision? I've not been able to figure that out. It's actually under rebates. So if you go to the rebate adder, that's where you can actually put in, after you've gotten a proposal from the roofing team, go ahead and put that in there, and that slipstreams all the docs for you when you call the docs.
Yep. Carrie's asking about cost of energy not being correct. So we have made some changes very recently, so I don't know how recent that issue was, but cost of energy is actually pretty accurate now.
Okay.
And we will be restoring the ability to modify that cost of energy, which we weren't doing in Vision. And so that will be something that's coming soon.
Sweet, awesome. Yeah. I was trying to look here. Let's see.
iPad support is getting better every day, and in the next 30 days, you won't have an issue on your iPad.
I mean, let's be honest. You can get a laptop that's under 2 pounds. So in the interim, too.
But we need to support iPad.
But we do need to support it, too. Don't let that stop you, though.
Yeah.
You're one cell away from that. So that's great. Awesome. Yep. Let's see. When is chat coming for Vision? I'm not sure if I understand that question.
I mean, chat is available in Powur.com. So that would be how you would get support.
Awesome.
Contact change, I think you talked about a little bit.
Yeah, that's in Powur.com. So like when you're inside the lead, just if you need to change the name to like one spouse or the other or something else like email or something, so you just update that dynamically.
Yeah, Zach's asking about self-design and 3D self-design. So we actually have some of our early users like Jordan who are actually authorized to do their own designs from scratch. They're not doing any max fit work. You can if you want to, but you can also do your own design. We're also currently working on 3D modeling as well, but it's 2D currently in the product.
All right, awesome. Let's see. Everything good. All right, I think that's awesome. So thanks, everybody. Appreciate you spending time with us.
Cool.
Thanks, Dean.
Thanks
Appreciate
for doing
it.
this, man.
Thank you
thanks
for
all your
supporting.
support.
Yes.
Yes, more emails from you than anybody else.
Thank you for giving me grace for that.
Yeah.
Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, everybody.